All right, George Rose, Nikita Tszyu, Brubaker, Liam Wilson back in the ring, mate. Thoughts on this fight week?
I think it's great. I think it's building really well. The weather's turned it on for us, and everybody seems to be in a good zone. I think they're all on weight and all shaping up for what's going to be a really good night. I think there's a few of these fights here that are really genuine 50-50s where anything can sort of happen, and we're going to find out the good way in being there Wednesday night.
And a massive turnout to the press conference today. What do you think it is about these fights with these sort of names on the card that brings the people to the event?
I think it's just Australian boxing's building. People are getting to know these people more and more. They're becoming household names, you know, with people like yourself and everybody who are always following and supporting the boxing. You know, we're really building on it, and, you know, Jack Brubaker looks the way he does. You know, he makes people want to see what's happening. You got Nikita is a very exciting guy. Liam's just come off the back of a world title fight, so these guys are really building the sport really well. And we've got a lot of other guys that are coming along as well. Like, you know, even Ralph Etienne, great performance the other week on No Limit on Fox, and now he gets to back it up and show even more what he can offer.
Liam Wilson obviously eyeing off a rematch at Navarrete. Navarrete fought the other week. Did you have a chance to watch that fight, and would you look to make that rematch?
Yeah, look, I thought he was really dominant, and I thought the way that Navarrete fought, I think it was really solidified just how good Liam Wilson did in that first opportunity, in that world title opportunity. You know, he was this close to making it happen, and it showed the level that Liam's at and Navarrete's at, because I thought he dominated that fight from the start, and you know, Valdez was obviously tipped as a guy who could win it, who could beat him. So Liam was the underdog by a long mile when he stepped in, and he showed that he had that power. I actually laughed because I thought Valdez kept going for that left hook. You know, that Liam showed the success that he had with it, and he kept going for that left hook, but he didn't have that Liam Wilson knockout power.
Now, Tszyu, Brubaker. Firstly, how do you sort of look back on Tim's fight with Brubaker, which was near 4 years ago now?
It's funny when you actually watch the footage of it. Tim's a completely different guy. You know, he's a kid. He looks like he's a kid there. So he's changed completely. But it was a fight that really changed his trajectory. You know, Brubaker brought it in the press conference leading up to it. You know, with that fight, and really put on a great show. And he's doing the same here now. So this could be that moment for Nikita Tszyu to see where he's at. You know, if he gets a big win against Jack Brubaker, then maybe that's the start of his trajectory up as well.
First time 8 rounds for Nikita. Any sort of trepidations or worries about whether he'll last the distance?
Well, you can't deny that his fitness, his training and work ethic is there. You know, he trains hard. He trains for 8 rounds. He's prepared for 8 rounds. The problem is that he's never actually got to go 8 rounds in there because of what he does. And you know, what he does is he's an exciting fighter, and he puts on a show for us all. So, you know, the worry is there. You know, will he still have that same presence going through 8 rounds? You know, Jack Brubaker's got a hell of a chin, and you know, if Nikita lands on him and really puts on him, and Jack keeps coming, you know, what's plan B? We get to find that out. We get to find that out on the night, you know. But this is why a fight against Jack Brubaker is really good for Nikita Tszyu. This is why he needs that. He needs a guy who can take a hit and put pressure on him, and also have that power. You know, Jack's knocked most people down that he's fought. He's knocked some really good guys. Stevie Spark, Troy O'Malley the other week. You know, he's knocked them on their ass. So he's got that in him. So let's see how Nikita goes. I think it's a perfect test for him to be able to go to that next level.
Now, just on Tim Tszyu, a bit of talk about a Mendoza fight maybe happening, or a few other names there, but I guess just spoke to Tim, and he really likes that Mendoza fight. I guess why is that a fight you'd be interested in making?
Well, I think after you see what Mendoza did to Fundora, I think it makes him the next most exciting guy in the division, outside of Tim and Charlo, obviously. Charlo's not there at the moment, so Tim's the guy at 154, and you look at what Mendoza did. If you're going to choose someone as the next best in the division, I think you'd say that's Mendoza. If you want to make a statement against someone, it's him. You know, like he knocked off Fundora, because Fundora was the next guy, and now you know, Mendoza's in that position. So I think if there's a choice of who you'd love to have, you know, yeah, Mendoza would be the guy if it can happen.
Did you see Jermell Charlo said it was bullshit that WBO stripped him? Any sort of thoughts on that?
I love it. I love it. I love that he's got that energy, that he's got that anger about what's happening here, because, you know, my concern was that he wouldn't end up coming back down. But I know that there's unfinished business for Tim and for the team. You know, we'd love to have that fight at some stage, because I still think that it's a great fight. You know, so if Charlo ends up coming back to 154, if he wants to get that beautiful WBO belt back, you know where he's got to get it.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.